Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of us reviewing movies. But today is a very special one because one, I'm hosting it, and two, it's essentially me and all of my female rage talking about it with my fellow male, my fellow male hosts for the day. I know, Joma and Enzo are quivering in their seats.
Strong start.
But I know, that's exactly what Amy would have
Joke's on
wanted.
you, he's the editor. He has the power.
Are you really gonna do that and speak over a woman?
Oh, shit. Howard, no.
No. But Gone Girl, admittedly, is one of my personal favorite movies. Actually, what do I end up rating it now that I'm a lot older? But regardless, I think we should first ask about when you guys first watched it and what your thoughts were initially without going too deep into the discussion.
Start with the youngest one here.
I'm the youngest one.
Oh, I thought you were.
I'm the youngest one.
I thought you and John were like separated by a few months.
No, he's a year.
I'm
He's a year older.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
You want the men to start or do you want the woman to start? I don't know. You're calling.
No,
the
I
host.
literally asked you guys to tell me what
did
your
you just
guys.
call me a woman?
Am I a
No.
woman?
Anyway, so, I knew nothing about this movie. Wasn't really interested in it. I didn't know.
Did you watch it only for the review? Like, is this your first time watching?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like, I never went out of my way to go to like the theaters for it because I never really. Because when it came out, 2014, I was like, what, 15 years old? I didn't really like. Oh, I want the next Marvel movie. What the fuck? I don't want to watch this shit. It was a serious thriller. By what was his name again? The director.
And Gillian Flynn is the author.
Yeah,
Director
David Fincher is the director.
David
Yes,
Fincher,
David
yeah.
Fincher is the director.
Yeah. And I barely watched David Fincher at that time. So I was like, okay, not gonna remind it. And then a few years later, when I turned 18, I watched it for the first time. And I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be watching this with my parents.
Not a movie to be watching with your parents.
Not at all. It's very intriguing. But at the same time, I'll get into it once we get into it. But I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? This just sus the movie. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, those were my initial like reactions to it. And then as I watched through it, I was like, this is just a horror movie for guys.
You saw the
This
mark.
entire time. Yeah, just like, oh my god.
Ah.
She's so thorough. Why? Yeah, but those were my initial reactions. How about you?
Like you back in 2014, I had no interest in watching it, but like, what really interested me is like I was doing my project for school, and mom and sister were watching it in the background as I was doing my project, and then all I heard was like, "What? Huh? Ooh, or what the fuck? Huh?" And I just turn around, see their face, and I'm like, "What movie are you watching?" They're like, "Gone Girl." Maybe I should check it out. And they're like, "No, you shouldn't." I'm like, "Nah, I will." And then a few months later, I did. I'm like, "Oh, holy
Yeah,
shit!"
when I told my
A regrettable decision.
yeah, when I told my mom and sister that I was doing a review on Gone Girl in a bit, and they were like, "Oh God."
Yeah, and like what really pushed me that year was the fact that Ben Affleck was in it. I'm like, alright, he's Batman. Let's see his more recent movie. And then I was like, I should have just waited for BVS.
I mean,
Or Wash It Down instead if I wanted something less haunting.
Yes. Now, I guess I'm also the same way. Again, it came out at a time where I was too young to watch. But I remember thinking about the book because this was at the time when I moved to the States, and the book was gaining a lot of traction because of the movie, obviously. And apparently the book goes into a lot more depth, obviously, as all books do. But admittedly, I would have to say that I give immense props to Gillian Flynn, who wrote the screenplay for this movie, because this is when I first started studying movies. Gone Girl was one of the movies that I had happened to watch a video essay on, and like, if of course this is a full spoiler review, we follow the first half completely expecting that Nick truly did kill Amy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is only in a very, very amazing twist that we find out that she has not only fooled everybody in his life fictionally, but us as the audience as well. So that was a very big trick into the kind of, it's a different kind of mindfuck that David Fincher went for. And it's admittedly very feminine of him. Yeah, go ahead, Jumba.
like this bitch was alive. I was like, well, I don't get fucking like. I'm starting to think like Ben Affleck's character. What's his name? Nicky.
Nick.
Yeah.
Nikki.
Yeah, they call him Nicky. Well, she calls him Nicky. I was like, I think you are kind of a sociopath because you're not reading the room right. Why are you smiling when your wife's missing? Why are you acting all sus and shit and not like, hey, maybe just tone down the smug look for a bit? No, like man really can't read the room. And
you can't read the room. It's so funny.
Yeah, like this motherfucker's not helping his case at all.
Yeah.
And him just being sus the whole fucking time. I was like, you really fucking did it, and you're not doing a really good job at it. Like hiding it.
Yeah.
And when like they revealed that, hey, she's actually alive and she planned all of this, I was like, so this guy's just socially inept. I don't know.
He's just a fucking idiot.
He's just a fucking idiot.
Like, it doesn't help you don't know anything about your wife. Like, I don't know what she does. I don't know what her best friend is. I didn't know she was pregnant. Oh my god, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, it was just elaborately planned.
Yeah.
I don't know her blood type. Well, to be honest, I don't know any of y'all's blood type.
I mean, I wouldn't think so. You're not married to any of us.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing to know when you get married in case someone gets into an accident.
Yeah, I don't even know my own blood type.
Anyway, you should ask
Lord
your
help
mom.
me. Lord help you.
I got a license for this.
True. So with that, I guess, we talk about this at first being what is essentially a Nick movie, but this is through and through an Amy movie. And we absolutely get mindfucked for it, right? And I just want to ask what your guys' opinions are on... So we've talked about Nick, or do you want to add anything to that, Enzo, about Nick?
You kind of glossed over him the last
Yeah.
Because admittedly, right, he is not, because like I said, right, this is not a Nick movie, this is through and through an Amy movie, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a point that I thought of as well, was like, what the fuck do we know about Nick besides he's just a guy? Like, he is your stereotypical, like, cis, straight, white dude who enjoys sports, who likes video games, at the cost of everything going on between his marriage with his wife. His very beautiful wife, Rosamund Pike.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so ikaw, how about you? I mean,
like, the only thing I have to add for Nick is that I know the other two main choices for this character were John Hamm and even Seth Rogen. You're like, that could be interesting.
I think they picked... I feel like John Hamm would have been too... Not saying Ben Affleck isn't attractive, but John Hamm gives too much charisma in the... Because you guys know John Hamm, right? Yeah, he I think his image in Mad Men would have made it too difficult. I think the fact that, like, Ben Affleck is a little bit more of, like, a down-to-earth looking guy. Not that he is, because
yeah, like, here, like, we're kind of used to seeing John Hamm as, like, corporate, not, like, kind of character.
Yeah. I think his image might have not fit very well.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see
it, right?
Like playing a video game with like a mountain of beers on the table.
I think it helps that. Oh yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I think it helps the women interrupting thing got the both of you, didn't it? No, I'm kidding. No, your face is not. No. Anyway. Guys, for all intents and purposes, they are very nice. This is just a joke. It's just in line with the movie. Anyway. No, I think it's like John Hamm is more of like as a through and through joke, as like he is like what men consider the alpha male kind of stereotype look-wise, right? Like the incredibly charismatic, driven guy, whereas like Ben Affleck was able to play more of the man-child trope. You know, guys know. That's why actually I thought to myself, Seth Rogen would have been good if Seth Rogen. How do I explain it? Like, I don't know, he just doesn't have that look though. Like,
Yeah.
it goes between the too charismatic versus too man-child. Ben Affleck has both. This like parang he has the kind of vibe of like a he seems like a nice guy, but there's something disingenuous and fucked with this dude that I don't like. Like, you know what I mean? Like a
And
guy
I think
that
Ben Affleck kind of captures the disingenuous part. Like, if it was Seth Rogen, man would have been just too upfront with everything.
yeah, it feels like he would have been too upfront. Like, even if he could play the character, I think just the face and the name of Seth Rogen would have made us thought of more like a comedy and like more lighthearted.
Yeah.
No, I've seen him do like
No,
serious
Stuff.
stuff.
no, I think he can do serious things. The way that like what's his name from The Office has done it. Like I love
Steve
his
Carell.
yeah Steve Carell is able to do a lot of really good serious movies nowadays. Like I absolutely believe in that. I just think that for the time that it came out, like Ben Affleck was probably the best pick when we think about it.
I agree with that.
Yeah. But now I think we should go on. I want to, before I go into my whole spiel, not that I actually have a spiel, but like, I want to go into us talking about like Amy and in the plot as well. Like, what were your guys' opinions of her in the first half before we get to the David Fincher, Gillian Flynn twist?
Okay. So going into it, I was like, when you see their... Okay, I got annoyed by the relationship, I'm not gonna lie.
I think that's the point. You're supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm like, they're so pretentious. Fuck! Stop talking! But that was them the entire time. And yeah, later on we find out that, yeah, this is just a whole play. They're not themselves. That's why it seems so off and seems so disingenuous. Which I learned later on. Because the start of this movie, first time watching it, I was so annoyed with it. I was like, I don't want to watch this movie. And I went on, I was like, that was smart. Oh my god. But yeah, with her character, she seemed normal. They look like a normal couple. Like, I guess the dialogue didn't seem convincing, but she just looked normal. But bit by bit, you start to see a little off-character shit. Like, you do see that right off the bat, she is a little bit manipulative. So I was like, maybe that's why he kills her. And like this man's just out of his mind, and the little inconvenience probably made him snap or some shit like that. I don't. But yeah, you kind of start to see that she is a bit at the start. How about you?
Like, since I thought he did murder his wife, I was like, I'm watching a ticking time bomb. Unlike you, I'm like, when is it going to go wrong? And then when he does snap, like, oh shit, I guess it's all downhill from here. Oh fuck.
Where'd you want the baby? Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, I started to feel sorry for her because I'm like, she seems so nice. A bit
she was really nice, but like, yeah.
manipulative, but like, we can fix that, right? She'll get better, right? And then once the story goes along, like, maybe not. Okay, never mind.
Manipulation was her first word.
Yeah.
But I guess with Amy, like as a woman, I was just like, we are falling to every trope possible. Which I think this is Gone Girl is pretty much like Trope the movie, like pinnacle of like tropes and tropes and tropes of women and the one of men as well. You know, she was pregnant woman. She was expecting mother is what they call it. She was a battered wife, so like she was the one who was being abused. You know, she was all over perfect. She was, for all intents and purposes, perfect. Like, even her parents were so like, she was an overachiever growing up. Her parents made the whole amazing Amy thing, which was like the literal physical embodiment of how she will never be enough for herself, for anybody, that they had to make a fictional girl. If you think about it, it's literally her name, right? Amazing Amy. She talks about it in the line of, oh, I wanted to quit cello and then she became a prodigy, right? So it reinforces this idea that women will always never be enough Like there is no, and that's why she's so. Because I think this is something I have to tell the both of you, right? This is me. This is essentially Nina's movie of educating the life of a woman, but like the really fucked up way. But admittedly, very much so. So a lot of people have talked about this movie being peak what we call female rage. Because we know the idea of like male rage, right? Like the idea that men who are angry end up like fucking like Kratos from God of War. We talk about men who have ravaged the earth because they're so fucking angry at whatever bullshit they have. Whereas women are expected to stay quiet. They are like I don't even think it's just like a Filipino mom thing, because I'm sure we see that in our moms at times, right? The idea that a woman has to stay quiet, she has to be peaceful, she has to be this, that, and that. And any and all faults that her husband has cannot be put on the husband, because men don't need standards. But women have to make up for that. Like think about it, right? She talks about it. I wanted to play a role. I played a role, so why didn't he? Why is it so fucking unfair that I played my role 100% perfect? And even if, admittedly, I totally get that. She absolutely has high ass expectations for her husband. Like the shit that she expected from him, fucking crazy. But he didn't even stay faithful to her. He couldn't even do the bare minimum, which is a very big thing that a lot of men overlook these days.
I love how that's bare minimum, but like it's such a like a.
But he can't even be asked to stay faithful, right? Like think about it too. You know, I'm sure you guys have seen the article where it talks about like a lot of men nowadays can't even get sex, because like can't even have sex with women anymore because women's expectations are getting too high for them, even though a lot of the things that women tend to ask for from men are the bare minimum. I mean, like oftentimes when I ask my friend, what do you like in a guy, they always go, I want a guy who's kind and compassionate. And I'm like, what do you mean? That's basic human decency.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why, like, this movie is pinnacle of female rage, because it is essentially. I'll make the fact that it's absolutely fucking buck wild. I don't think anyone can or should do this. There is something to root for about someone who has been so mad at the system that has placed her in the role that she has had, because she was just born who she was, because she was purely born as a woman, that she now gets to beat the living crap out of him through retribution, like through her own like holy war retribution.
like just controlling the media all on its own, and just ruining his name, ruining his family, ruining the people around him. And that's just a power move, though.
It is, because she essentially has him physically arrested before the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And then she also has him socially executed, in that he will never fully recover his image from that.
Yeah,
and if you think of, go ahead. No, you go. I want to hear your thoughts.
No, like even with like him wanting to leave, like for us, we're like, yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. I was like, no, your poor wife that just came out of a traumatic event, and then right after she comes back, you just
leave. Like
that's
the media
not
will.
a good image.
The media will doubly crucify you, like as if you're not already in a bad place.
So that's pretty much he's in like metaphorical handcuffs at this point.
Yeah.
Metaphorical ball and chain that's not really that great.
That's why his sister by the end is like, why do you want to stay with her?
Yeah,
are
she's
you
like
insane?
In tears,
yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, think about it though. She pretty much put herself in chains in from the beginning though. When they lost their jobs in New York City, where did they go? To his hometown, where she left all of her family, right?
Yeah.
So who had to adjust? The woman.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And the fact that he couldn't even do the bare minimum of staying faithful to her by going for a younger cool girl, are we really surprised that she got mad? Now, again, understandably so, for as much as I praise her, no, I don't think what she did was fucking right, guys. But there's something about, but that's the thing, right? movies and fictional mediums like these, like fictional stories, the whole goal is to explore the idea of things that we would not have otherwise wanted
to like just explore the extreme. Like, I guess you could compare this to like John Wick. To an extent.
Yeah, you know,
we won't murder 100+ people
for a doggy.
But did we think it was sick as fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously wrong. But
it's always
same thing with this one. Completely terrifying, but really clever.
No.
Yeah.
When it's revealed he is having the affair with, I forgot the actress's name.
Emily Ratajkowski.
Yeah. You're like, before that I was like, this guy is acting like an idiot, and then it's revealed. You're like, oh, you are an idiot. Okay.
Yeah, he is a piece of shit. No, everybody here is a piece of shit. Except for
everyone here is a piece of shit. I just think that Amy played the game. She played the game and won.
Yeah.
And because she Palpatined her way into it. I wouldn't know. I didn't watch Star Wars, but I'm following what Joma just said. No, but if you think about it, right? Like every okay, thank you so much to the take for helping me realize and make notes for this movie, even though I had made a lot of thoughts about it as well. She plays the role because that is what is expected of women, right? You have to play the nice wife, you have to play the cool girl. I would know because I'm sure you guys remember the whole monologue, her whole like monologue of the cool girl, you know, cool girl Amy. I drink beer, but I stay a size 2. I eat cold pizza. I wax my pussy raw, all that shit. And you know what? and then I had to look effortless. I had to do that. Like, maybe not to the extent, but I definitely did something like that. Because why? Don't you guys ever think it's weird when a woman... I'm sure you've seen some videos where a woman had to apologize for not wearing makeup. Where she goes, sorry guys, I kind of look weird right now. I don't have any makeup on. I don't look fixed. Whereas none of you guys have ever had to think about why is it that you never have to apologize for looking the way that you do. Because who has the higher standards? Women. Right? Even just looking the way that we do, we have to not only look a certain way, act a certain way, we have to pretend that all of it is innately within us, that we are just so naturally effortless. Therefore, when a man doesn't do his job, that's okay because the woman's gonna pack it up for him and help him out. Right?
Yeah.
Because who does the emotional labor? The woman too. Why do you guys think growing up our teachers and our parents told us that women matured faster than men? I hear the quiet. Why? I'm asking why. There's no wrong answer. I just want to hear why you guys.
No, I gotta answer it for us.
I am putting the fear. Thank you to Amy Dunn for putting the fear into my male hosts. Thank you. Anyway, continue.
Wait, what was the question? What was the question?
True. It's true. Bye. No, bye.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay.
But have you guys ever thought as to why why our teachers and everybody said that women mature faster than men? I like how you said it's true. Bye.
Well,
the question was that.
Well, from your words, because they have a higher standard, and men are just like, what will be, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we are kind of like that. Like, what will be, will be.
Yeah.
While, yes, women kind of have to take control of certain situations. While us, we're like, oh, go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens, and we'll just fix it right after. While women try their best to make sure that mistake doesn't happen right off the bat.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. So, yeah, I can see why.
It'd be fast.
Yeah.
I don't know, is that correct, ma'am? Is that correct? Did I do good?
What if no? No, but yeah, I mean, yeah, essentially, that is essentially what it is with women, right? Is that we, from a young age, are, like, we suffer the consequences of mistakes fully. Whereas, if you think about it, right, if a boy punched another boy or a boy hit a girl, even on the playground, what did the teacher say? Yeah, what you did was bad, but boys will be boys. What do women get if they do something wrong? Kasalanan namin. It's our fault. Yeah, you didn't know that?
All I was told is that don't hit a girl.
True,
here.
you're told not to hit a girl, right? But like, in the very case, haven't you ever been told? Like, haven't you ever heard the idea that boys will be boys?
Yeah.
I mean, I have heard boys will be boys, but not in that context.
No, but like it happens a lot because that's
Yeah.
a lot of why women put up with abuse because the idea is that it's always been allowed anyway. We are. Have you guys ever thought? And that is another question that I want. The hypothetical. Have you guys ever thought about your gender? Like, have you ever thought about yourself before, like your gender before your actual self as a person?
Can I have an extension to this deadline?
What? No, say it right now. Yes or no? It's just a yes or no question, guys.
That's such a deep question.
Have I ever thought of it? Oh god. I would guess.
Do you want to know?
In
do you
27
ever
years,
get-
no, not really.
What?
I mean, aside from like,
Really?
I identify as a man, a straight man, and that's about it. And I know what I
Yeah.
want and what I don't want, and what I like, what I don't like.
Well, so
Joe was looking for the right answer in his
so
head.
it's like, how many times did you ever consider your gender before you even
Remember who you are as a
who
person.
you are as a person? No, not really.
You want to know why?
Right.
Because the world is made for you guys. Think about it like this. Have you ever thought about what you want? Did you ever have to think of, you don't have to answer these. Did you ever have to walk outside of the house and think about what you were wearing in regards to your safety?
Yeah.
Did you ever have to think about at night keeping your drink in your hand and that anytime you leave your drink, you have to leave it and buy a new one? Did you ever have to think about who you associated yourself with? Did you ever have to think about what you look like to other people in regards to your safety or in regards to your social standing in whatever social group you're in, whether that be in school, among your friends? No, right? But I think about that maybe not every day because it doesn't happen when I leave the house, but sometimes it happens online. But think about it, right? So that's the thing. Women have always been told to play roles, and the fact that you guys have the privilege, and this is a story for everybody listening, all the men out there, you all have the privilege. Privilege doesn't mean that you're immune to bad things happening, by the way. Privilege means that you have the luxury to not think about it. Whereas I don't have the privilege of making a mistake, because a mistake could end up in me dying. Have you ever thought about this? One more. Have you ever thought about saying no and being scared for your safety?
No.
No.
Not really.
Did you ever? Yeah, right? But I have to be afraid of saying no to somebody who could know where my address is
Mhm.
and hurt me.
I've heard your stories before. Crazy bastards.
Exactly. Oh, my teeth fell. Literally. but that's the thing, Society has put so much pressure on women. But we're not even allowed to show that we're mad. So Amy Dunn, I admit, I think Amy Dunn was one of the first kind of very popular ideas of female rage. Because this is like a whole big topic now on like book talk and everything like that. It's this idea of a woman who is so fucking mad, who is so tired of everything placed on her, that she just said, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Fuck you and everybody else. And I want you guys also to think about this too, right? What about Fight Club? Fight Club is essentially a man going against society in a way that he knows how. And it's not an alpha male movie. It's literally against capitalism. So for all you capitalism bros, charot na joke lang. That's a joke. Unless it isn't. But it's essentially him going against the ideas of his gender's perfection in a destructive way.
Yeah.
But who gets to look better, him or her? We look at Amy as a crazy bitch, but we look at Tyler, even if he's a fucked up dude, we look at figures like the Joker who are like, we want anarchy and chaos. Fuck this society. Well, Joker does it because Joker does it. But Tyler, right? That's his name.
Well, technically it's
Tyler.
narrator.
Narrator, but Tyler.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, it's Tyler.
Yeah, it's Tyler. Yeah, because he is a part of whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I will say though, just say her off, that I never idolized Tyler in any way.
no, you're not, because you're not
Right.
supposed to, right?
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Like,
That's
we
the
talked
whole
about
point.
it.
There's a lot of idiots there.
Yeah.
So, and me and Enza like talked about it.
Yeah, like he's one of the people who are like, when someone's like, I want to be like him, like, you need help, you need therapy.
You really need
Yeah,
help.
exactly. And it's exactly the same way,
Yeah.
yes. But I'm just saying, like, society is more sympathetic to him going against things versus women taking their own kind of like, they're taking their narrative, essentially. And I want you guys to think about, too, like, she played every fucking role correctly. Like, it's almost insane the level of control she had. Every time she was questioned by somebody that needed her story, she weaved it in such a fucking amazing way. And I just went, shit, it was that easy? Joke. That's that easy? No. Anyway, go ahead, guys.
Well, for sure, there was a lot more planning into whatever she did. Kind of like with, comparison again to John Wick. For sure, killing 10 guys in one room was not easy.
Sure.
But to him, he made it look epic. But god damn, she just had people in circles with like all the clues. She just made it look like, oh, my husband killed me, and then weaves it around to, oh, I was kidnapped.
Yeah. And if you think about it,
Crazy bitch. Yeah.
I should tell you guys though to be careful when you refer to women as bitches in regards to I get, for me, this is just something to note, not just for you guys. This isn't me dissing you or anything, but I want you, especially men or even women who call their exes bitches, I immediately don't trust them. I immediately don't trust them unless you have a very valid reason. Oftentimes, I don't. Trust
well, to be honest, I was about to say, like, if she cheated on you with like 5 other guys, or if he cheated on you like with 5 other guys, other girls, I would consider them as bitches.
Yeah.
Like if they did a really shitty thing, I say it's just.
Yeah, of course, but that's the thing, right? Is the idea of a perfect victim as well. In that, why is it that we absolve somebody of their guilt, even though they may have been the first person to inflict it on us? Why is it that our response has to be us with grace? So that's an idea of the perfect victim, right?
Yeah.
If you were to make a mistake, because that's also what women are like. If you were to make a mistake, men are absolved of their faults because it's on you for not acting the way you should have. If a man hits you, you should have gone to the police. If somebody rapes you, it's your fault for wearing what you did. What were you doing that night? What did you do? Did you drink? Did you wear something correct? Did you cover yourself up? Why were you walking down a dark alley? Diba? But why is it that it's our fault that we get raped, right? Is it our fault that we get killed for saying no? But if we're not perfect, then why is it that? See, because she also plays into that, right? She has made herself the perfect wife. Yeah. That everyone misses her. Oh, I made myself pregnant because I needed to make sure everyone sympathized with me.
Yeah, everybody loves a pregnant.
Yeah, and remember what the lawyer said to Nick, right? Where he said, "My wife is telling her story." No, she's telling the perfect story.
Yeah.
She's like the peak. Men fight with fists, women fight with wits. But then again, at the end of it, when you put the both of them together, who really wins? Sure, a woman could end, like, if I'm at the hands of a man, she could die. But at the hands of a woman, you could live the rest of your life in fucking shambles. So, I mean, it's that. There's that, right? But how about you guys? What's your thoughts on what I said?
Which part?
All of it, any of it. I know. I'm sorry. I'm taking it over. I'm hosting, guys. This is me teaching you guys my world.
Like you just read this entire
paragraph, and then I'm like, answer this. I'm like,
paragraph?
Which subject?
Any part that you find interesting. This is a discussion.
Yeah, it's
this is a discussion, guys. There's no wrong answer.
Like the way the video is going, like this is why I asked you to host, because like admittedly this began with a lie when I told my sister like, oh, we're doing Gone Girl next, and she's like, so 2 straight men are talking about Gone Girl. I was like,
no.
And that's when I messaged you. I'm like, can you please host this?
Host. Are your eyes being opened? Like, are there things that you might have not noticed?
I was about to say, like, this is the right way of kind of doing this video.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this is not our normal format.
Yeah.
But It is theirs. And if there's some asshole in the fucking comments who's just gonna be like, well, men, we struggle with expectations to provide and shit. Look, man, this isn't the video for you.
Yeah.
Not just that, but who put that on you in the first place? It wasn't women.
Yeah.
Who set up the system that made it so that you had to provide?
It's like
not
guys
women.
being like, oh, we have to be strong and being right for a woman.
A woman.
Yeah, that's on us. But I'm just saying, to anybody who would start defending their manlyhood, just
Their
let you know,
manlyhood.
this
Oh,
video
that's-
is not for you. This is their time to talk.
Or maybe
So, yeah,
Rethink
especially
your
with this
life.
movie. Yeah, especially with this movie. Yeah, guys have their own problems, girls have theirs. But right now, this is the topic. I'm just pretty much warning anybody who's gone through the middle of this video and it starts sees like, men got problems too. And I'm like, yes, they do. But right now we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've seen too much videos and too much comments where guys start to defend themselves when it's not their place.
yeah.
Exactly. And I never criticize like men in it. When I say men, I don't mean it in the sense of like individual men. I am talking about the system and the idea and the symbol that men have in society. And we cannot deny the fact that there has been, I mean, think about it. How often can we make the, like, I'm sure there are gonna be men that have come up to people saying, oh, you know, like, but there are more successful men in the world. Yeah, because women weren't even allowed to have the opportunity to do anything. Solely based on the fact that we're born on your perception of what a woman is. And any less of it... Yeah, exactly. Whose fault is it that there aren't enough women in the, like, in... Not in the workforce, that's the wrong word. In, like, history. Like, what we consider successful women, right? And when you talk about their stories, it's always because they were a woman that they struggled in the first place. If they were born a man, they would not have had the issues they did. Think about it. How often are there women's stories that talk about, oh, she had to fight through all of these things and she had to prove herself to men, when men never even had to prove themselves, period, versus just because of, on the basis of who they were born, like their sex, not gender, sex. Yeah. And then their, you know, the gender that they express themselves as. But anyway, regardless, it also helps that she's a white woman, admittedly. Yeah. It does help that she is a white woman because there is, I don't know if you guys have heard of the idea of like white woman syndrome, like missing white woman syndrome. It's this idea that people are more sympathetic and put more money into looking for a white woman versus if they were to look for anybody else that doesn't fall under that category. Because remember, women have always had roles as victims, right? Our stories have often been told as victims. You know, think about how often we've had the girl boss power women with the intent of putting that out there, who weren't overly sexualized, who were beyond just the idea of a woman. I mean, think about it, like I told you guys this, right? Like during Black Panther, it took us how many years to get to a point where we finally have well-written and developed characters done right.
Yeah, that are female. That didn't base their whole story on the fact that they were female. Mm-hmm. Until Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So that's the second Black Panther movie. It wasn't even the first. Right? Like, you know, it's just kind of like the odds are fucking stacked against us. I mean, and also think about it, like when you think of true crime stories, right? Like, you guys know about Jeffrey Dahmer, right? If he took white women, everyone would be fucking looking for them, but he deliberately picked the men of color, gay men of color, that nobody wanted.
That nobody wanted, exactly. But if it was a white woman, everybody talked about it. I mean, you guys remember. And I'm not saying this to compare. This isn't the fucking pity Olympics. If anybody dares to say, but what about, no, this isn't a pity Olympics, but we have to say it as it is, okay? Very often, a lot of people come out in these stories saying, okay, but what about, like, the young black girl young black girls who are missing, or these gay men who are missing when they went on a date, or such and such. Like, it's proven, like it is proven statistically that there is more resources and more visibility when a white woman, more often than not, has gone missing. I mean, think about all the true crime stories that are told. It's always often white women who are the victims as well. You know, whether it be through true crime documentaries, or even fictional ones, right? So that's the thing. She also benefits from that, and she knows it, and she played to it. She played everyone and me like an idiot because I too fell for it. But it didn't. I didn't understand why I didn't hate her when I was younger until I got like recently until I rewatched it.
So like, oh fuck. Not that.
Yeah, because I didn't have the weight of the world and all of my like male peers' shit on my shoulders until like I grew up a little bit and I said, ah shit, I know exactly how she fucking feels and I hate it for that. I mean, because like often I do have to think to myself, like how often have I been called crazy or delusional or gaslit, right? Like those are admittedly or sensitive, you know. Those are always words used against women because it's easy. What do you like? The fucking term gaslight comes from a dude who just wanted to be. I think it was like the story of a guy that wanted to be with another girl, so he needed his wife to be called clinically insane so that he doesn't have to go through a divorce and then goes with his mistress or something like that. But yeah, that's where the term gaslighting comes from, you know, because it's easy to call a woman hysterical, whereas men have always been called, what do you call that? Like they don't let their emotions take the better of them. So when you have a woman like her, who, I mean, how often have you guys made the joke? Like, not I'm not trying to make you guys feel bad, but how often before when we were younger, have we made the joke, "Are you on your period?" when a girl is mad?
Yeah.
Right?
We've done that joke.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I know you guys know better, but
Yeah.
before when we were younger, right? Like,
Yeah, when we didn't know any better.
yeah, when you didn't know any better, right? Like, how often does that kind of shit happen? This is essentially Nina dumping all her shit, but you know, it comes with being a woman. You know, it's like you have to grow up fucking fast, or else you fall behind, and everyone hates you, and you're an inconvenience. I mean, why do you think like men consider like there's this whole thing where men consider women they don't find attractive as nuisances? Like they are only nice to women
Who are pretty cute.
who are pretty and cute because they want to fuck them, because and any form of positive female attention means that the woman wants to fuck them back because that's called entitlement.
Hey.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything to I feel like I'm talking
No.
about it.
No, I just want to keep listening. No.
You're dumping us in the ocean here.
I mean, but that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
You guys see, I'm throwing you into an ocean that I have always been born, that I was born into the ocean. Like, you know, it's the Bane thing, you know. What was the whole thing that she says? You merely adopted the ocean. I was born in it.
The main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do I say this? It is close, yes, I will admit it. But it's not in the sense that, like, the movie... Like, it's just a really hyperbolized, like, view of what female rage looks like and can end up looking like. Not to that fucking extent, but, like, you know... Like, if a woman was just a super villain, but, like, the anti-hero too, you know? That kind of shit.
The point I really like from John was that calling it a horror movie, because like the point of the movie where you think he's finally cleared his name when after that interview with the interviewer, like he's free, but
I
like
didn't kill my wife.
yeah, the moment that happens,
guys.
the cops have the evidence. They had the diary, they had the murder weapon, and he's under arrest.
And the girl admit. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's not. The girl admits that she
Yeah, that's why he had to improvise for the interview.
Yeah.
But like, they find all the tools and he's under arrest and like shit. And then like, for a while after the interview, the people were like, "All right, he has thought, but you know what? Maybe he didn't murder her." And then when he's arrested, they're like,
he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
"Yeah,
No, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. Everyone said that he had to be stupid to do it. He's too stupid to do it.
Yeah, that's his character. That's why I laughed. I was like, okay.
yeah." And then when the crowd finds out, they just go wild, like he didn't fucking do it. Like, oh
He
shit.
did. You know, I hate to be that. I don't want to put too much opinion on it, but a part of me, the way that they make a spectacle out of her, out of kind of her being missing, kind of reminds me of like, and like the social, like, what do you call it, court of opinion, like reminds me of the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, which I don't want to get into in this. It just reminds me of it, you know, like the way we make entertainment out of people's tragedy and suffering, right? Like, why do you think you like reality TV? I don't want to get into it because I don't want to fight people on it.
The only reality TV I watch is the F1.
And then there's me in Love Island, etc.
Yeah, and like going way back, like when he's doing the what do you call that? A speech of like, help me find my wife, and then the neighbor's like, you didn't know she was pregnant? And the crowd literally is like, what? How stupid can you be? And he's like, I gotta get out of here.
And the worst part is even the police thought that too.
Yeah.
Like the police were like, you don't like him, huh? And he's like, oh no, there's something about that dude, right? Like they were thinking what we were thinking. This dude's sus as fuck.
Yeah.
Amogus. Sorry.
No, that was the entire time. It's just,
did you really say that the whole time? Joma said Amogus.
No. I kept saying sus. This man's sus. And then the Among Us thing would play in my head. Which one? Yeah. When you press the button.
For me, there are 3 surprises, including the twist. One being Tyler Perry, because when I saw him, I'm like, what the fuck? You're in a David Fincher movie? David Fincher of all the people. Of all the directors in the world. And then I saw Neil Patrick Harris, I'm like, you're just weird here.
Yeah,
like, I couldn't buy him.
He's a creepy stalker. Well, we did have a lot of screen time with him.
Yeah.
I think you're just weirded out by it because of his image prior to the movie. In fairness, it is one of the more serious roles he's taken on.
And I don't know, I like the subtle clues and the director of his character. Like when she's eating ice cream beside him, he's looking at her eating ice cream with disgust. I was like, ooh, he doesn't like that. He wants Amy like how
he sees her.
Exactly.
Her, which is the very fit, sexy blonde hair. Yeah. But she had to go through this transformation just to hide her identity, as she was presumed dead.
Like, I'm sorry if I'm thinking in one of the questions if you were going to ask this, Nina, but like, I want to ask, how did you react to the twist?
Oh yeah, we should talk about it.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of? I don't know. How did I think I watched the movie because I already kind of knew the Gone Girl twist, which was the monologue. The monologue made me want to watch the movie, so I kind of already got spoiled by the twist. Huh?
Which monologue?
The cool girl one. Because that's like the viral one that everyone talks about. It's like the cool girl does this, cool girl does that. So that's kind of like, it's like peak, and like not peak anymore. But when it came out, it was kind of like peak female rage before we knew what it was. So yeah.
Well, I literally sprayed my computer with soda during that twist because she's like, I'm so happy I'm dead. I'm like, is she a spirit watching? And then it's revealed, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she's actually
alive.
Dead. She's alive. And the shit she does just to be thorough, where she like
smacks herself with a hammer. Like, god damn.
Yeah.
I mean, she really went for it. And she did the whole thing, right? Like, prior to leaving, she takes out all of her
blood,
like as much blood as she can, that makes it look enough that it won't kill her, but enough to look like a murder. Yeah.
The urine sample from the neighbor, like, oh, I'm pregnant. They're like, that's why he's like, what the fuck? I didn't even fucking know.
Making everybody love you and shit. It was,
I think she's braver than me because I couldn't fake the people I hate. You know, like she makes it so that the pregnant lady, the always pregnant lady, was annoying, and I said, shit, she's braver than I'll ever be. I would stop there.
Well, I appreciate your genuine, you know.
Yeah. Oh, as if Nina will do it. If Nina did it, what would she do?
I don't want
This is me implicating myself on evidence, right? For all intents and purposes, that's a joke.
Yes. The reason why her plan comes undone was because she was robbed by the neighbors,
the couple,
including the guy from Narcos. I don't know if you guys recognized him.
Yeah,
that's him.
Yeah.
He's a guy. Yeah, he's
Sorry, I have to check.
yeah, he's the guy from Logan as well.
Yeah,
He's, like,
and recently
What
the
is
Sandman.
He's the guy with the robot arm who's like in charge of capturing
Robot
Logan.
arm. Wait, where's he from again? What move? What?
Logan.
Logan.
Logan? I don't remember him, dude.
But yeah, like after the twist, like rewatching it now, I'm just like, I can't even. You can never watch it the same way after seeing the twist. Like, this is so weird.
Because it becomes a case, right, of like when it comes to watching that, it becomes a case of like that now that the twist is so visceral in your mind that you have to think about now when you rewatch that movie, all you think about is what did I miss? What do I know? Right? Like what was something that was already showing it. And that's why I think it's brilliant that Gillian Flynn was the one who did the screenplay, because I don't think, because remember, she is the author, right? Like she was able to translate her book in a way that was good for the screen without, dragging it down. Like she did a really good adaptation, her and David Fincher. And David Fincher said, I like fucked up twists. Approved. Approved.
Approved.
Should I?
But what did you guys... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was in my mind. I was like, should I be asking the question of how did you find her? What do you think of her framing Neil Patrick Harris? Like, should I be asking that? Not really. I don't know.
I mean, you can. It's totally a discussion for a reason. Like, even if I'm hosting, I want to see what you guys were able to glean, because admittedly, I had a lot more to think about than some of you guys did about the movie.
Yeah.
Not in like a bad way, but in my perspective of the movie is going to be completely different from you both. I mean, it's why your sister literally asked you, two straight dudes talking about Gone Girl.
Yeah, that's like, I was like, oh shit, she has a very valid point.
Yeah.
But yeah, when she frames him up, it took me like 2 seconds to be like, because she kisses him and like untouches his shirt, and I'm like, okay. And then
so dramatic. She just sorry.
Yeah, but
the way she does things is so funny sometimes.
She made it look like they had a like
rough sex,
or like a tussle, or like
yeah,
before he leaves for work.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she dips her dress in wine, and then I was like, oh no, rewind.
Yeah.
I missed that. Holy shit.
Yeah. By the way, I wanted to like talk about this. Yeah, David Fincher did a really good job. Like, yes, it is a movie, but we couldn't help it as guys to be like put ourselves into like, okay, I feel like if it was any other director and there was and Ben Affleck was going through the shit he was going through, we would have been like, haha, you're stupid, or like, oh well, that's happening to him. Now with David Fincher and the twist and all the shit that as you said, Nina, he kind of made it very visceral.
Yes.
Where I was like, what if that was me?
No, that's exactly what you're supposed to be thinking. That's exactly what the whole point. One of the quotes from the videos I watched, is the idea that this is a male feminist's worst nightmare, is being implicated for rape. Which, admittedly, I think we do have to do the disclaimer in saying that we do believe victims, and we do abhor the idea of fake. Because that's also one of the genuine criticisms that people had towards this movie, was the idea that a woman could fake a lot of things about herself and be believed, given that the story was told right. Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure we've seen with like fucking Brock Turner, who, for all intents and purposes, is the worst of it all, in that he was genuinely caught red-handed. Yeah. I was thinking of another terrible way to talk about red-handed. The other verse was that yes, off screen, and that like I had to pause because I was like, caught for this. Yeah, but
as
like
much
he was
as you
caught
want to
red-handed.
say it, we have to remember that we're still on YouTube, and there are guidelines. There
are guidelines, but Brock Turner only got 3 months after being totally, because he was left off the hook.
Yeah, and I believe all of us, a good population of the world's population was like, what bullshit is this? Yeah, exactly. But we do have to think about, this is a terrible thing for, because that's what I was thinking, right? Like, what do you guys have an opinion on in being like, in seeing this and feeling like I could somewhat relate to the, sorry, not the idiocy of Nick, but like the whole idea of being implicated for this.
I mean, yes, I will agree where like the fear of like, oh shit, we committed something, or being framed for committing something, and like, oh yeah, it's a given because he's a guy or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it did scare me because well, this shit does happen in the real world.
Poor NPH Joe. That's a gnarly killer. Like Jesus Christ.
Where she just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa.
she does.
Yeah.
Ah.
And he's like literally at the climax, and Sonny can't breathe. Like, oh my, oh no.
he was completing.
Yeah. And it's like, wait, I can't breathe anymore. And then she like keeps his hands down as this jugger's just profusing blood. Like, oh my god.
Like, yeah, visceral.
Yeah. Like David Fincher always has like the last twist where we're like, Jesus fucking Christ. With this Fight Club and even especially 7, we're like, oh my god.
Oh, 7. Oh my god, yeah, 7. Yeah. But is there any other points that you guys want to kind of talk about before I think we can wrap this up properly? You guys are my typing, sorry. Trying to look at other David Fincher movies. Sorry. Trying to look at other David Fincher movies.
Like, the music is pretty haunting too. Like when Ben Affleck goes to the shed, you're like, I kind of want to turn this off. I can't stand the music.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Like, no, because again, it's not a monster. Well, kind of is. They're both.
It kind of is. You can admit that she is the perfect
yeah, she's the perfect monster, like a real life monster. But I mean, like, it's not like a horrific being or a ghost. It's just that, like, the fear is, oh fuck, she outsmarted him. And you're like, oh, what's he gonna do? Like, yes,
he's an idiot. What does he have against this mastermind of a woman?
Yeah, she's like, oh fuck, because technically, at some point you do root for him. You're like, I hope he gets away, but at the same time, you're like, he's an asshole. And I was like, but still, like, she's doing to the extreme. But then again,
he kind of wasn't any better.
He kind of wasn't any better. But now she murdered somebody.
I feel bad for
she murdered. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel bad for the detective when she was piecing the puzzles, like in the hospital. Or like, your story doesn't make sense because I found the murder weapon here, but how do you have it in that part of your story? And then, like, the other police are like,
something. You want to know what I realized in you pointing out the detective who I completely forgot? She is able to piece shit together because she's a woman too. She was the one who could see through, because
the bullshit
it's kind
that she was doing.
You guys know the whole thing, right? Like the trope of like sees like. So like for a woman who understands what she went through, she was a really good detective for that. But she can't prove it either because the husband's a fucking bumbling idiot at times.
Yeah, and like Amy gives her a look like, I know you know, but you'll never prove it. You're like, oh
yeah, exactly. She's like,
and at some points where she was like, what's your plan now with your husband since you're back home? She looks at him with a grin. And he's like, I was like, I want to strangle you, Ben Affleck. I really do.
And then
that's why Ben Affleck does that face so good.
Yeah, he does. Like, I don't think Seth Rogen can genuinely do the smug, like, clueless thing.
Yeah.
You know? Because the man's a teddy bear, so...
Yeah, he is more of a teddy bear. And John Hamm is too... Charismatic, yeah.
With him, with Ben Affleck, it's in between. The man can play a charismatic idiot.
See, and that's the beauty of good casting, guys.
I'm not calling Ben Affleck a charismatic idiot. I'm saying he plays one in this movie.
Yeah.
And he's dating Jennifer Lopez now.
Yeah.
But yes, I will say though, you have a very stupid back there.
Huh?
Yeah, look it up.
He has the what?
He has this very stupid back tattoo.
Yeah. Like, you
it's
also
horrible.
feel worse when the trap gets more ensnared when she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. And he's like, why?
Yeah. And then, like, you could tell, like, I can't.
Yeah.
I am legitimately trapped. Because now he has to protect the kid.
Yeah. Calls her, see you next Tuesday. You're like, oh. Yeah. I would.
She wins, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does win. For all sorry, I was just like, what is that? Is that real? Are you sure this is? Huh, okay, anyway. Weird. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to, like, diss on somebody's taste, so I'm not gonna do it.
I don't like
Unless it's Yeah, yeah, I dislike it. But anyway, yeah. Where were we? All I can think about was the tattoo now. It's burned in my brain. Sorry. Me as the host being like concerned by Ben Affleck's back tattoo.
We were at Nick being trapped forever.
Yes, Nick being trapped forever, which is what was I gonna say?
Years.
I mean, assuming
I don't know
the
what.
kid even gets.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I
what
feel
plan she
terrible
has.
for that kid. Imagine being born into a family that your dad hated the fact that you were born, and your mom uses you as leverage against your dad. Oof, you are not gonna have a good childhood.
Well, Tyler Perry was right. You guys are fucked up.
Yeah.
From all the clients I've ever had, you're the most fucked up. And yeah, I gotta love how they all collectively sat down in a cafe and were like, we all agree that she killed Neil Patrick Harris, right? And you're like,
yeah. They're like, yeah.
But we can't prove it because she's America's sweetheart.
So,
Yes.
after all this talk about Amy and Rosamund Pike's performance, I want to know what you guys think of, because she wasn't the first choice. It was Jessica Chastain. You think that would have affected the movie in any way?
I like how you know this because I have no idea. I would have not have known this.
Who's Jessica Chastain again?
She plays the older girl in it, like the older girl.
Zero Dark
Like-
30?
Oh.
She's
No, I
fine.
think she could have done a really good job.
Yeah.
Like
I
whoever
think
they
so.
put.
Yeah. I think though that like Jessica Chastain has too much of a nice girl look to it. Like Rosamund Pike for the movie, I think was perfect because for me, Rosamund Pike, she has the face. Like she has the gorgeous face, but she plays the blank slate because that's the point, right? Like the whole idea was that Amy needs to be a blank slate. I have a question though. I think we should wrap it up soon. But are there any other things that you guys want to not get out of the way? As it's a bad thing.
No,
Just wouldn't have imagined the actress from Doom with The Rock be this scary.
same
No,
here.
from the what?
Doom?
From
From
Doom
The
or
Rock.
Dune?
Wait,
Doom.
sorry. I
Doom.
said The Rock.
Yeah, I know,
That's
yeah.
why I
Doom.
got confused. I was like, huh?
Doom with The
Yeah,
Rock
yeah,
and Carl Urban. The
Yeah,
video
Carl
game
Urban.
adaptation.
Yeah, she was like the sister of one of the soldiers there that he
Yeah.
had to rescue.
Wait, what movie? Sorry,
Doom.
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 Yeah.
What movie? What is that? I don't remember.
That's the video game
No, it's the
adaptation.
video game movie.
Ah, the video game. Oh, I was
Yeah.
like, they had a movie for Doom.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
You know how I know
People know about
Rosamund
it.
Pike from Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, that, yeah.
I didn't know she was in that.
Makes sense that she
is,
would be in
she
it,
plays
though.
the little sister who like she
was
plays
also
the
in
younger
World's End.
sister, huh?
It was at World's End as well.
But yeah,
But anyway, I think we should go into. Sorry, is there something you wanted to say, Enzo?
unforgettable movie. I think I know where
It
you're
is an
heading.
unforgettable movie.
Yes.
Like I watched it a long time ago, like probably 5 years ago, and I had to rewatch it for this one. And I forgot. Like I had completely different views from what I had with. I guess we're in the ratings now, Harvey.
Yes. I was gonna go into ratings if you guys wanted to know. But what did you guys think? Like, yeah, what are your ratings? Last comments and notes before I had gone into my total, absolutely female rage.
Yeah, she has. Girl.
I went into my own monologue about it.
Yeah.
I should write about that. Anyway,
You should. I really suggest it.
go
but,
ahead, go lang, guys.
Anyway. Sorry. Hangover brain. No.
You drank?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
my thoughts on this movie 5 years ago when I first watched it are completely different now. Because when I watched it before, I was just like, and it's just a fucked up movie. It's kind of like how I felt with Fight Club. Watching it now, knowing deeper information, and knowing the sides of both sides, you know, like, especially with Nina, and knowing the fact that we have been close friends for a while, and the experience that she has, I kind of get this movie a little bit more. And I'll give it this, like, it is an 8 out of 10 for me. Will I watch this again?
Maybe not.
I would say in a blue mood because it was like, oh shit. If I have a friend or a girlfriend who's like, I want to watch a messed up movie, that will mindfuck me, I would gladly go Gone Girl.
Yeah. Why don't you guys also give the book a shot? Since
Yeah. Well,
Books are my enemy.
are also my enemy. Like no matter what book.
I cry.
Anyway.
Oh my god, you guys make it sound like it's such a bad thing. It's okay, go ahead.
We don't have the attention span for it.
Anyway.
we live in brain TikTok. No. But yeah, it's an 8 out of 10 for me. Yeah, as I said, will I watch it again? Not leisurely, but if I were to introduce it to somebody, yes, I would glad. How about you?
Enzo.
I'll give this a 9 out of 10. Only I give it a point higher because I am a very big David Fincher fan, and like this is like top 5. It's this, Fight Club, 7, Zodiac, and The Social Network that I keep on rotation when I want to watch a David Fincher movie. I think the performances here are brilliant. The story will mess with your brain, and which is fitting because this whole week we've been talking about brain fuck movies with Fight Club, Shutter Island, and now this. Seems right that we go back to David Fincher, and like I will also watch just sparingly, but like not more than John, definitely. Like I would watch it like twice a year, maybe. To be
I like how you guys like put it in like I'll watch it more. I like watching movies like once and then like forgetting. I need to forget it before I watch it again because I'll be like I already know this.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. I feel the same way with this.
Yeah.
Just so that like the shock is like back.
Yeah, so the shock is back, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead, Enzo.
But yeah, it's a really good movie, and hello sister, if you're watching this, thank you for reminding me of important stuff.
I should talk to your sister about this. Anyway, I think besides my whole tangent that's probably gonna be edited out, I do think this is. Can I have any criticisms about this movie? I don't think I have any proper criticisms about it, but maybe it's just it's a movie that I do think helped started like there's always been female rage as a theme. But I don't think it gained this much traction in my personal life, like from what I've observed until as of late. So I do think Gone Girl was kind of Tumblr's female rage movie. Tumblr, let me age myself. But I guess I can give it. I'll give it a 9.5, even though I think it is a perfect movie that, in my opinion, deserves a 10. I don't think I can comfortably give it a 10, just because like. It didn't mean that, like it meant a lot, yes, but it didn't do, like if I had to compare it to my two other perfect movies, which is Everything Everywhere and Parasite, like huh?
No, I was just finishing Everything Everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was my OCD. You're looking up. I was like, oh, you finished the title.
Just let it be. Everyone will know what it is.
Finish the title.
No. Anyway, but yeah. So I don't think I can comfortably give it because it meant a lot, but it didn't meet the standards of my other two perfect movies. But I will give it a 9.5, as close. Which is funny. I've given both movies that we've reviewed as of late 9.5s. God bless. Thank you for having good movies.
Yeah.
Fixed. Anyway, I have good. I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, I'm happy that you guys were willing, and I'm sorry I scared you.
No, you gave us perspective.
I'm sorry.
You gave us perspective.
No, but I can tell Jomo
I was like, I don't know what to say next. Like, I'm like, because if I make a joke, I'm like, am I being insensitive? I can't tell.
No, I'm glad that you guys were open to hearing me out from a perspective that I had a feeling you guys might not have thought about. Because admittedly, that's the whole point, right? Like, the whole idea is that there are things that you guys don't see that I will see in this movie.
Yeah.
And I was ready to defend. You know, I make the joke, right? Like, I'm the Wanda Maximoff apologist. Like, I was also gonna be an Amy Dunn. I was also gonna be an Amy Dunn apologist as a joke, of course. But, yo, you guys came in with open hearts and open minds. So I'm happy about that. And I hope that you guys didn't mind the fact that this was more about just me. Not you guys, but I'm talking to the audience. And to the audience, I hope you gained more perspective because this became less of a review and more of a kind of a case study in like female life and roles and everything. So maybe not as much of a review, if not more just a general discussion. Like a class.
Yeah.
Like a class. I should have had a PowerPoint for us. I actually considered a part of having a PowerPoint to make myself more organized. No, I have ideas. I have ideas for what I want to do.
Okay.
Like the female, not the female experience, as if there's only one, but like general female age movies. So yeah, how do you guys? What did you guys think? I'm talking to the audience now, guys. Okay, because you guys might be like question marking, like, is Nina talking to us? So to the audience, what are your guys' opinions, thoughts? Probably violent reactions, considering this can be quite the visceral. This can be quite the what's the term? Like when there's like two sides. Like this can be not conflicting. Yeah, divisive movie for some people. And I think this is it. This is where we can end it. We want to hear your thoughts. Enzo plugs, because I'm forgetting what we have other than TikTok and
yeah. Well,
please do the plugs.
We mentioned TikTok. We also have Facebook and Spotify. Spotify to hear us on the go. Facebook to see us react to trailers, stream video games, and about our lives. And yeah, TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Some of this will be on there selectively. So yeah.
Yeah. And Joma, can you take it away with where can we find you?
Okay. Anyway, you can find me at JomGEOM _ on Instagram. Biz by article.
Enzo, your personal accounts?
No, I want all the comments to be directed to Jom, so I won't say mine.
He didn't do anything wrong. You guys didn't do anything wrong. There were no wrong answers.
By the way, if you all got opinions and just plug in, now you can just look at the other videos.
That is true. Well,
look at the end of the videos. He's in every one of them anyway.
Yeah.
Most of them. And then you can find me at Nina, both on Twitter and TikTok. I sometimes post there, but that's just mostly bullshit. If you guys have seen it, it's mostly just whatever bullshit I find. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching our discussion less review. Review less discussion. There you go. And we hope you enjoyed. Hope you guys continue to keep watching us. Stay safe. And thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.